The weather is quite dark now because of the rain. It's about to rain heavily here. And so the cashews, as I was telling us, that we have so much to benefit from the cashew leaves. The essence of this life actually is on the cashew leaves, not the, I talked briefly about the nuts. Yes, because you cannot talk about the leaves in total isolation from the nuts. Maybe some other time we'll talk about the fruit itself, because we have the fruit, which is edible and also medicinal. Then we have the nuts, cashew leaves, the cashew nuts, the cashew bark, the cashew fruits. All of them are edible and medicinal. But the cashew leaves is the one that is less frequently talked about. And that's the one I brought to show us. The cashew leaves is the one that we less frequently talk about, because most time we're talking about the guava leaf, we're talking about the soursop leaf, we're talking about the papaya leaf, we're talking about the avocado leaves and several other leaves. Before now, we never knew that most of these leaves are edible. Before now, we never knew that most of these leaves are medicinal. Now, I tested out the cashew leaves, the tender one, which I already showed us in an earlier. I've already kept that one and decided to share with us in case you have it or you have access to the leaves, especially the tender leaves. The tender leaves, you can chew it raw. And if you have any gum issues, I've tested it, I found this to be true also. If you have any oral issues, it's going to resolve it. I had some, it was resolved, but that is not a, total conclusion that it was the guava leaf that did it. I have to be honest with us, but I thought that it must have been the guava leaf, because, of course, I took it on empty stomach, the tender leaves, washed it and chewed it, and it's been helping with a lot of things. And I want to share with us a few things I noticed and why I had to take it the next day and even the third day before I came out here to share with my followers and my subscribers that you can start to, especially the older adults, it helps to fight inflammations. It helps to fight bacteria. If you often, maybe you're complaining of the garlic is too harsh, I tell you, it's a source of iron, even B complex. It gives energy. It's more friendly to me. There are some fruits that are harsh. I give you an example. I'm going to be testing it, combining it with the guava leaf. Very, very soon I shall be doing that. Because the guava leaf is one that we know it lowers blood sugar when you chew it, especially the tender one. They all do similar thing, but a few things makes the cashew leaves very, very different in a way, because every herb is different. They may have some similarities, but they are different. And I tell you, the the cashew fruit, the cashew leaves is the one you should try to embrace this time around, because it has properties to help reduce frequency of malaria attack, frequency of infections, bacterial infections. It has ability to reduce constipation. Most of these constipation are even made worse by the presence of bacteria and fungi. And so it will reduce constipation. That is what I also found out. Kill off some yeast. You know, the cashew nut as a nut has antimicrobial properties. The leaves is even much more loaded because it doesn't carry the calorie that the nut carries. A lot of time, the nut, a lot of people are afraid of it because when you start chewing it and once you take in excess, it begins to give the negative sign because of the calorie in it. But the good news is you can take the cashew leaves. If it's the tender one, just wash it as I did and chew it. In the morning after your water therapy, just chew it. You're going to see a very beautiful difference. You're going to feel not only calm, you're going to have, you're going to see an improvement, overall improvement in your health, especially the older adult who are avoiding a lot of things because of this or because of that. It's going to help to kill off some of these parasites because of it has anti-parasitic properties. It has antiseptic properties. I'm talking of the cashew leaves. Some of you have it already in your premises. Some of you are eating only the nuts, throwing away the leaves, forgetting about the leaves. You can make tea also out of the cashew leaves. It's not only the making tea out of leaves. When you want to make tea out of the cashew leaves, I suggest you use the mature cashew leaves, but not the over mature cashew leaves. Because when you are trying to use these leaves, you must also consider their age. Their age matters, just the way it matters in human beings. If a younger person, an older person, or middle-aged is kept, the best at that point is the one at the productive stage. That's the one that has all you need. But the one at the tender stage, like the younger person, very tender child, may not have matured fully with all that is expected. The older adult too may have also been fading out. So it's the middle. So when you want to also use herbs for medicinal purposes, it's good to take the one that is not too long-standing, either in the forest or whatever. Take the ones that are, within an age that maybe between age 1 to 7, 8, you get the best from that tree. But the one I choose is just about, let me say, barely 7, 8 months. I don't know whether it's up to 1 year, but it's quite young. You see it. I posted the photo of it on the community. That's the photo of the guava leaf that I use. And the beautiful thing about this guava leaf, it is so calming in your body. It doesn't put an urgency for you to eat like not the guava leaf, sorry, the cashew leaf. It doesn't put an urgency for you to eat like the way the guava leaf does. The guava leaf lowers blood sugar, we know. But on this side, it helps lower blood pressure. And those properties that you find in the cashew nut, which helps it with blood pressure, they are also in the leaves. Even more in the leaves, without the calorie. So you don't need to boil anything. That's the beautiful side of it. You don't need to worry to boil it. Just wash the tender leaf. Little one works. You don't have to eat too much or go and gather, a whole bunch of it. If you're having toothache, you're having gum disease, swollen gums, all of that is going to resolve it. It has anti-parasitic properties. Even the guava leaf does, but to me, the guava leaf seems to be slightly harsh. Because if you take it and you don't eat, it starts putting an urgency on you to eat. Which, if you don't eat, it's going to be like you're having an acid reflux, or you just have some kind of urgency that you need to eat. Maybe it starts lowering your blood sugar fast, making you feel like you must eat something. That's the guava leaves. When either you chew it or you boil as tea, it does work that way. But the cashew leaves that I have tasted, the tender cashew leaves, is said to have big group of vitamins, some amount of iron, some amount of calcium, and most of these nutrients that we're looking for. And besides that, it fights inflammations, very importantly, especially for diabetics and those that are managing high blood pressure. All the older adults, you need to start to embrace this fruit. I tell you, you may be wondering why I even went taking it. It is because I also have a need to boost my immunity. You may be thinking that every day I'm on top of the world, I'm feeling so great. I do have some challenges too. Yes, every older adult, if you are in your 50s or 60s, you cannot say that nothing is challenging you. Yes, it happens to me. Something must be challenging you from time to time. And your ability to manage it is what we are talking about, using natural foods. And so when I suspect such challenges, I'll be testing out on these herbs. And when I test them out and find out something, I now go further to read. Blacks from okay, I can see that. I now go out and read more about it after doing my own, consuming it, and then having my own finding. I now go out and read more to know what other researchers are saying. Because when you read, but you don't test it out, how can you say it is this, it does that, it does that? So that's exactly what happened. I've added it, and I'm happy to announce to you that it has become part of my medicinal herbs. Not only as, okay, Austin BT, thank you for subscribing, my dear. I appreciate it. And so I'm glad to announce to you that the cashew leaves has become part of my medicinal herbs. And the beautiful thing about it, I'm eating it raw. The tender shoot, eating it raw. You can make tea. You can even dry the leaf yourself. The fairly matured, don't allow it to be over matured, but you can, dry the mature leaves and then grind it to powder. You can even take it to wherever, even to regions where they don't have, because some regions don't have this thing. They have it in Indonesia, they have it in some other countries, but there are also some countries where they don't have access to either the fresh one or whichever. So you can dry it and even make them have access, or take it to wherever you are residing, in case you don't have it. They are maybe due to the weather or the climate, because these things affect them where they grow. And so that is about the cashew leaves. So you don't have to be worried about the calorie in the cashew nut, which is often our concern and our worry. Because when you take the high calorie, especially for those older adults, it's going to be, affecting you. It's going to be troubling you, maybe weight gain, or even your heart. You feel weak. Your heart becomes weak when the weight is too much. And so that is about it. So start testing it out. And if you have not been testing it out, start looking for it. I'm talking about the cashew leaves. Yes, you can make it as tea. You can chew the tender one raw to strengthen your immune system, to kill off bacteria, parasites, to reduce microbes in your body, to reduce fungus. Fungus are always there. As long as we are eating sugar, we are eating all the sweet processed foods, all the white carbs and the rest of it, the yeast are growing. And if you don't control them using foods like this, herbs like this, they are going to grow out of proportion and begin to cause problem. And the antioxidants that are said to be found in the cashew leaves helps to reduce the activity of free radicals. And remember, if you don't tackle these free radicals, reduce their number. As a matter of fact, you can't eliminate all the parasites. It's a battle we cannot win. But what we need to do is to take foods like this with antiseptic. Mark the word antiseptic. It's even very interesting to me that it has the properties you can use for your toothpaste. Those of you that can make, you can make toothpaste out of it. I'm telling you, very beautiful toothpaste to resolve, oral issues, gum issues. I said earlier that I was having some, irritated gum before I chewed it. But surprisingly, it was gone. But I don't know whether it is the cashew leaves I chewed, but obviously it's most likely to be the cause because there was no medication for that, but it just disappeared like that. And so that's a good news for us, those of us who are having it and you are just looking at it. If you have the one that is overgrown, for instance, in your premises, you can make tea out of it. You don't need to chew it. It will no longer be suitable for you to start chewing the old, guava leaves. You can chew the tender one, that is like in the one I showed us in the earlier, the first time I came out here. It was a tender one. Go to the community and see it, the photo of it. I snapped a photo, I posted it on the community. You can see it there. And so don't forget, you need to subscribe because I come up with, to this channel, updates like this to help us to stay healthy naturally and to help us reduce frequency or too much dependence on medications. A good number of people think once you attain this age, you're 60 or you're 50, 55, you must live the rest of your life on medications. My dear, it's not so. You can find them in these herbs. The thing we are talking, they are in the herbs. You can find them in all these medicinal herbs that we are freely given to. I say we are freely given to. So you don't have to consume only the cashew nuts. Start taking the tea, especially if you are worried about the calorie in the cashew nuts. You can start chewing it. And in case you don't even have access to to put in your fire, or you are in a place where you don't have access to boiling your tea, hot water, you can chew it raw. You can put it in your mouth, chew it. You can bring it, wash it and chew it. It doesn't put urgency on your body to eat like the guava leaf does. Because the guava leaf will dry up the sugar. And the next minute, the guava leaf has very wonderful benefits, especially for women and all those with hormonal issues. Helps with blood sugar. But that blood sugar aspect helps to, once the blood sugar is working on your blood sugar, you will need to eat. You start feeling the urgency to eat. But the lovely thing about the cashew, which I tend to be more, the cashew leaf, tend to be more comfortable with, is that it doesn't put that urgency in you. And going out to study more on it, found out that it's a source of big group of vitamins. And that's what the big group of vitamins does. Source of energy, it relaxes your nerves. It calms you. And it's a source of calcium too. I'm talking of the cashew leaf. Even iron, some amount of iron. In addition to all the anti-parasitic, antimicrobial, all the antifungal, antibacterial, antiseptic, all the antis, you seem to have it. And it's not just to say it, but you can feel it when you take it. Yes, if you are, most older adults are more sensitive when they take things like this. Yes, some younger people just take it and say they are feeling nothing. They didn't feel anything. I've heard people say maybe when you feel this something is good, something is great for your health, they take it, they say they felt nothing. Yeah, your body becomes more sensitive as you get older. And so that's about the cashew leaves. Congratulations to us. Mother Nature has given us the cashew leaves, several other herbs, not only the nuts, but the leaves. We now know that most of the fruits, we are avoiding their leaves and their seeds. Now we have come to know that you don't have to avoid the leaves, the papaya leaf, the avocado leaves, mango leaves. We were running away See what ignorance was doing to us. That's why it's important to invest in knowledge. See what ignorance did to us all over the years. Avocados, we're throwing away the leaves, and even the seeds of avocados, throwing away the seeds of mangoes, throwing away the fruit, the leaves, throwing away the leaves of guava. Can you imagine what ignorance was doing to us? You don't need to run. Stay with knowledge. If you need to invest in knowledge, invest in it. It's worth it. Seek knowledge and pursue it. There's no regretting it, because there's so much. It is knowledge that opened our eyes to these herbs, these healing foods that are right under our nose. And we are blindfolded because of ignorance. Yes, you ate something that can heal you for free, and you are throwing away the seed. And that's exactly what we've been doing to the cashew leaves. And so you are welcome to the world of using food as your medicine. That is exactly what we do at Healthy Food Place. And I promise you it's going to be a short life. And that's exactly why I shall be drawing the curtain here. Thank you for coming. And don't forget to subscribe. See you again. Bye for now.